Driving on the south side, man. I'm gonna go by the first African American museum in the world. It's called the DuSable Museum. I lived in this museum for 2.5 years of my life. I'm like 18 and a half or something like that. Dr. Margaret Burroughs' son, Paul Burroughs, was my best friend. I've been up in this building too. But I could never hate black folk because a black woman, she took care of me for 2.5 years of my life. Like, it's unbelievable what she did for me. And then she got to talking to me and telling me how she used to be a communist. And she was showing me these dossiers, and when I'm a young mind at this point. You know, my grandpa taught me a lot of shit, but she started showing me dossiers of the FBI following them for 4 straight years. And then she showed me the highlighted pages when her and Martin Luther King had lunch together or spoke together or had an event together. They were all over her then. You know, they were watching them people real bad. And her husband was a Russian, not a real Russian. He was black skinned, like a black African American, but he could speak Russian. So he'd go over to Russia and talk to all the communists. If anybody remembers who Frank Marshall Davis is, Obama's Letters to My Real Father by Obama, they knew Frank Marshall Davis. He was one of the starters of black communism in Chicago on the south side, Washington Park area. Bronzeville and Washington Park, Jackson Park, that was like black Hollywood, damn near. Black Beverly Hills. Where she lived herself was a giant mansion. A giant stone mansion. And the walls were like 2 feet thick at the bottom, and it tapered off. The architecture was beautiful. You walk in the house, there's a big giant pharaoh head. There's a bunch of Egyptian, Central and Southeast and Southwest African architecture, and it's just a beautiful home. And it had a grand staircase and everything. And she would tell me, you know, communism wasn't for her. She started to realize it was a trick, and she started to favor freedom. And she started to realize that the communist utopia was all a lie, you know? And that they were selling the people a lie. She said she went to Russia and she saw how the people lived, and they brought her to an orphanage, and it made her cry. And she didn't want to tell me no more about it. Because the people would all give up their children because they didn't have the means to support them. But I thought the state took care of the means. This to my right here, which is all open field, would be all Russian Soviet style projects. They were called the Harold Icky homes. They're all right here to my right. There was building after building after building after building. But she was a beautiful woman. I went and saw my friend Paul. He was my best friend for years there. He kept me alive, man. He gave me my first gun. Well, he gave me my first gun to have, not like a community thing or something. You gotta give it. I didn't have to give it back. An old 38 snub nose I hid out back in the alley. That way, if I could just get to that spot, I'd be fine. I'd be able to defend myself. And at the same time, the police couldn't run down on me, pat me down, and put that gun charge on me. Because I don't know, back then they weren't dealing with guns that severely, but it was still something. Nobody wants to go to jail. So I hid my gun. Anyway, here's the Dearborn Homes, 2900 South State. This is a brand new hotel they got going on right here. This used to be a really dive hotel, but on the second floor they would have bands right here on State Street, and they'd have a bar and a liquor store on the first floor. And me and my friend Vince, we used to come over here and go up in there and drink, and then like come outside and still be drinking because they'd still be playing music. Here's the Dearborn Homes. I've seen it all in this place. I seen the FBI come down here and place a soldier. Every like that pole right there, that pole right there, that pole right there, that pole right there. Every single pole had a guard with an M16, and he was standing in place, not moving, not flinching, just facing outward, while they went in every single apartment and searched and destroyed every single apartment. There's my girl RiRI's building, 2900 South State, right there. That's her building. She died from cancer at age 36. I said to myself, there's something in the walls of the projects, man. She got that cancer from some bad, cheap-ass paint, man. She didn't even smoke cigarettes or touch drugs, for that matter. She was a beautiful woman. I stayed with her for 4 months until her husband got out the joint. He told me, Dave, I can trust you. You ain't gonna try and pull it with my wife, Carissa. I'm not gonna, you're not gonna try and fuck my girl while I'm gone. I can trust you. I said, hell yeah, you can trust me, nut. If I need a place to stay, I got you. Well, I didn't want to pay rent. It was like $5.90 a month. Back in the day, that was like expensive. And I went and stayed over there for 6 months. And wow, was that place wild. It was a really popular place. Thousands of people. After that happened, after he came back from there, I talked to my buddy my buddy Paul. And I remember we were walking right through UIC here, talking shit about why did they put UIC right in between two of like the worst projects? You know?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? I mean, it don't make sense. But they did, and this is it to my left and right. Okay. I just wanted to get the thing. Yeah, why the fuck would they put that beautiful college? And this right here, this corner building, this used to be a really tall project. There's projects behind it. Let's just say this whole thing to my right, all these buildings were all CHA projects, stay away. And I remember Paul, he worked security down here. He had a good little gig doing that. I was chit-chatting and kicking, shooting the shit with him one day. And he said, why don't you stop by my little spot over here I got? I said, all right. I came by. He's like, I got an extra room if you want to pay. He's like, it's like $10, $15 a night, Dave. I said, all right, back, come on. Let me get a room for tonight. I was with some little bitch, right? We were down here, running and gunning. So I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you that row house. This used to be the tray ball right here to my right. Giant projects, man. It's all gone. Down this way, these are the little row houses. They don't look that big, but they got an upstairs and they got a little bit of a basement. It's small, granted it's small, but they got an upstairs, a dining room, and a basement. It's very, very narrow, but shit. And then there's no way to get to the back. You see how there's no way to get to the back? There's only one way to get to the back, because there's fences right here. You're supposed to be able to get through right here, but you can't. The only official non-way without a motherfucking, what's it called, is right there. Without a gate is right there. And here's my old house, man. Rest in peace, Dr. Margaret Burroughs. She knew Obama, she knew Ali, she knew Malcolm X, all kinds of baseball players. Kirby Puckett played down the street, all the White Sox, everybody, man. Everybody. She was in everything. She went to Africa one time. Remember, she came home with malaria. I was like, damn, Margaret Burroughs. Miss Burroughs, you shouldn't be going over there for your health. You'll keep on catching that malaria virus. She said, it's my work, David. Actually, here's an art installation right here. I want to show you real quick. This is her art club she started. I'm going to take the phone off the thing right now. This is Dr. Margaret Burroughs' handiwork, work in life. She started these things for the kids. She started, look at this house, by the way, this mansion. That thing's gonna be like millions, right? So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna see what I can see. But yeah, man, Paul was my best friend, man. He took me to his mama's house, and his mama let me stay with him for 2.5 years. Never wanted $1. She gave me $1,000 on Christmas. It's crazy. So I'm gonna walk over there really quick. This was the first African American museum in the world. Where it went to was, it went further south into a bigger location. Paul told me the South Museum opened up another building that's in Washington, D.C., and they have Chuck Berry's car in it. That's what I was told by Paul. But we used to live next to this thing. This 10-story right here to my left, it got a little rowdy, and we were right next to it. A lot of times you walk out your gate right here, and there's just this thing right here under that balcony. There'd be about 30 people. There'd be people walking all up and down here. That was a hotel. There was a hotel right there. Man, I just wish I could get inside there and go see my old room. Damn. Oh, look what they did. I think they put it so I can't get back in. Or nobody can get in. Fuckers. Damn, they're not working on that, man. But there it is. There's my room way up at the top. God, this thing's beautiful. Look at how beautiful this thing is. This was like Black Wall Street back in the day. It was a train house, and if you see back there, those right about there, those are servants' quarters. We can go back there and do whatever we want. That's where I hid my gun. Those are servants' quarters for the other place. And this at one point was a rail house, and a rail station came down there. But yeah, this neighborhood was something else back in the day, man. See, I didn't mind living here because the Stayway projects, they were 2 blocks away. IDB was a couple blocks away. But this project right here, this one right next to our house, this one really was trying to make a name for themselves one year. And they just had it going 24/7. It never stopped, man. And then the hookers would go get their drugs, and then they'd go hang out with my buddy Paul. Paul could never turn down a hooker. He's what you call he was a little older than me too, so you know, he was a little older, so he liked to, you know, he liked to partake in the young women and shit. And I was like, Paul, them are whores. He's like, David, I wear rubber. Mind your business, David. I'm like, Paul, I'm just fucking with you, big thirsty motherfucker. But yeah, I had so many memories, man. Black folks took me in for free, man. So you can't ever judge a book by its cover. That's why I hate all this white privilege shit. So we're just gonna judge all white people. But we can't, you know, but it would be wrong to judge all black folks. So it's bullshit. We all know it's a lie, man. And I'm gonna be out here doing my part to make the world more commonsensical and better. That's it for now. Peace.